Hello, peer support specialists. It's Kyle here from the training team. Today, I want to share a bit about core beliefs, what they are, why we have them, and where they come from. Later, you'll get a chance to learn more about the relationship between our thoughts, our core beliefs, and our behavior. Earlier, we learned ways to identify negative automatic thoughts. In this module, we explore what drives those negative thoughts. Why do our minds produce those thinking patterns so quickly and effortlessly? It's because of our core beliefs. What are core beliefs? Core beliefs are a person's most central ideas about themselves, others, and the world. These beliefs act like a lens through which every situation and life experience is seen. In cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, core beliefs are thought to underlie automatic thoughts. Core beliefs are deeply buried assumptions that guide our behavior, how we see ourselves, and we perceive situations. These beliefs impact how we feel, how we relate to others, and guide our success and satisfaction with life and relationships. Core beliefs are just that, core to our identity. Think of it this way. Core beliefs are like a radio station. The songs may differ, but they belong to the same genre: country, jazz, hip-hop, or classical, for example. When you're tuned to a station, you know what kind of songs to expect. In the same way, our core beliefs cue up predictable thoughts. By noticing the tracks that your mind often plays, you'll discover what frequency you're tuned to. With practice, you can develop the ability to change the station, and you can help your clients do so as well. Where do core beliefs come from? Core beliefs develop in response to a person's experiences. They begin developing in early childhood and continue developing over time. As a child grows up, they try to make sense of what is happening around them or to them. In trying to find meaning or learn from this, they develop a set of beliefs. However, just because core beliefs start to develop so early, they are not always based on balanced or informed opinions. People can unknowingly absorb messages from family, friends, teachers, and the media, and those messages may influence their worldview in positive or negative ways. Why do we have core beliefs? Our brains have to process an incredible amount of information. Imagine you're walking in a big city looking for a restaurant where you're meeting a friend. When you enter the restaurant, your senses will be bombarded with countless stimuli: people standing, others sitting, various rooms, and so forth. If you had to consciously process each stimulus, it would take an enormous amount of time to figure out the setup. Fortunately, our minds contain maps that help us quickly make sense of the situation, assuming it's not the first time we've been in a restaurant. We know the person who greets us is the host, so we explain that we're meeting a friend who will be joining us shortly. We're not the least bit surprised when the host hands us a piece of paper after we sit down, which we know will list the food items and drinks and the price for each. Our entire meal will unfold in a predictable way through paying the check and saying goodbye to the host on the way out. This example shows that our brains develop shortcuts based on prior learning. Once we have knowledge about a certain experience, we can navigate it efficiently. This ability shows that we bring organized knowledge to the experience, relying on an internal model that guides our behavior. Cognitive psychologists call these internal models or maps schemas or scripts. If you pay attention throughout your day, you'll notice many such scripts you follow: getting ready for work, making food, driving a car, and checking out at the grocery store, to name a few. These scripts give rise to automatic responses that often don't even require conscious thought, like when I drive a car safely even while listening to the radio. In just the same way, our minds develop mental structures that help us deal with potentially emotional situations like rejection, success, failure, and so forth. For example, if we experience a small failure, like missing our train and being late to a meeting, we might think we're irresponsible and respond with feelings of guilt and regret. We might enter the meeting tentatively and with words and a demeanor that suggest not just "I'm sorry," but also "I've done something bad." These thoughts, feelings, and behaviors emanate from the core belief, "I am inadequate." Being late for the meeting didn't cause that belief so much as to confirm it. See, here's yet another example of how I'm defective. What if we had a different core belief? Maintaining a different core belief would give rise to a very different cluster of responses. If I believe on a fundamental level that I'm a person of worth, I may see my tardiness as regrettable, but not indicative of my overall value. I would certainly experience less stress on my commute to work, since my worth as a human being doesn't hinge on whether I'm on time. Even if my boss pointed out that I'm late, it wouldn't have a major impact on how I felt about myself. Instead of thinking I'm defective or something along those lines, being late to a meeting doesn't have a major impact on how I feel about myself, if I have a different core belief about myself. We learned that our minds process loads of information constantly, every day. To do this, our brains rely on scripts, or schemas. We also learned that our core beliefs drive our behavior, and that when we have a different core belief, it can change our response. Think about the negative automatic thoughts that often come up for you. Do you notice any recurrent messages? As you consider these automatic thoughts, do you find a central belief that unites them all? As you become aware of your own patterns of thinking, be on the lookout for instances when your core beliefs are interfering with an objective take on reality. This process requires paying close attention for the presence of thinking errors in specific situations, taking care not to believe everything our minds tell us.